Our next guest belongs in fan media folklore. He's a pioneer in this space. He's a trailblazer. He's the reason why people like me can sit here in front of you and give a footballing opinion. He's the founder of AFTV and DR Sports. He's a presenter, entrepreneur, speaker, and he is a father, a friend. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Robbie Lau. Brother, how are you feeling today?
Welcome to Branching Out, man. Big up, man. No, I'm good, man. Good to be here. I like your setup, man. It's looking nice.
Thank you.
Looking really nice, really good.
Thank you, man. A lot of time, effort put into it. I appreciate you coming down, putting a lot of time and effort into being on this episode. And we've actually got some whiskey as well for you.
I see that. Hey, listen, you got everything on point.
We had to. I asked you what type of whiskey you liked, and you just smiled at me and was like, brother, I am the whiskey, bro. I'll have any type of whiskey. I've got a long list. So we got some Jamesons, obviously from Ireland, where I used to live for 5 years. So I thought, let me make that little connection. And from what I Googled, I used to have it when I was a lot younger and blackout drunk. Now, today, I want to be smoother. This is meant to be a smooth drink that you can have with no mix. I was told that you don't need to mix your whiskey as well. You can just have some ice and you're good.
Yeah, that's me, man.
All right, so let's fill up a glass, man.
Okay.
Because absolutely, why not? Do you know what I mean? This is a special occasion. It's your debut on Branching Out. It's an absolute pleasure to have you.
I don't always get
you told me
drinks on. That's it. Yeah. You want me to chat me nonsense on the thing,
me,
right?
I was out last night. Let me see if I can even host. How are you, first of all?
Cheers, man.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
How are you? Because you're a busy man.
That's good as well, man.
Is it good, yeah?
Yeah, that's real good. Yeah, I'm good. Been really busy. Busy weekend. You know what I mean? We had a big game on the weekend, you know what I mean, that we both know all about. But yeah, nice. And the games now are coming thick and fast, and, you know, you've got 2 channels to run, and then, like, there's a lot of stuff outside that as well.
Of course.
So, yeah, it's a really busy time, especially coming up to the sort of Christmas period, you know, so really, really busy. But I like being busy.
Yeah.
I like being busy, man, so it's all good.
Yeah, man. And we got a new segment, well, not a new segment, but a segment we're going to make sure is in every episode, which is show and tell. And I remember, asking you this morning, I was quickly ringing you up like, yo, bro, I know you've got a plethora of options in terms of this. What can you bring in for me to kind of show to the audience and kind of kick off the podcast? What have you brought?
Well, you asked me, you rang me this morning. I've got a couple of nice awards, but they're all at the studio. But this one, I don't know if do you want to see it or I show it to the camera?
Will it capture? Yeah.
So one, I got this the other day over in Dublin in Ireland, right? Which is a really, it's a gold medal. And it's been presented as an honorary patron to Trinity University over there in Dublin, which is it's like one of the oldest universities in the world.
Yeah.
And they awarded this to me for being like a really important black entrepreneur, and for what I've done in the industry that I'm in. And yeah, it was a very special award to receive. I went over to Ireland to get it at the university, and then when I saw some of the people that I think this is the 341st person to get it.
Yeah,
but this is spanning over centuries, and some of the people that they've awarded this to, I was like, wow, like Joe Biden, the ex-president of the United States, he recently got it. They gave it to Whoopi Goldberg, Desmond Tutu, Al Pacino, Sir Alex Ferguson, so I'm with some big names there. So yeah, that's a really, really nice award, like gold. So yeah, I really appreciate it. It was a lovely day. Went over there, they showed me around the university, and then I did a Q&A with the students, and like they said it was like the busiest session they've ever had.
Wow.
And yeah, the students were great. And yeah, I love doing stuff like that, speaking to like students and going to universities, colleges, schools, and sort of passing on the things that I've learned over the years, It was really nice, really, really nice.
That university is basically the equivalent of Oxford University in England or Cambridge, like we were speaking before we started the shoot.
It is,
It's a real prestigious building when you walk in there, because
No,
I've
it
gone
is.
in there before.
It is.
Not
It's
because I
very-
learned there, because boy, you need to be getting above A's
Yeah,
off the
that was
alphabet.
very, very prestigious hotel, university. They took me on a tour around it. You know, what I mean, so a lot of it's very old.
Yeah.
You know, like going back centuries, and there's some. You know, they've got like the harp that's on
Musical
the
instrument.
sort of the flag in it
Yeah.
of Ireland. They keep that there.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So the original one for it. It was a very prestigious place, but the people were really nice, you know, and I really had a good time there. And yeah, I've done a few of them universities. I've done Oxford and Cambridge as well. I've spoken at Oxford Union. I've spoken at Cambridge Union, London School of Economics, Durham University. Like I've spoken at a lot of them, and I have to pinch myself sometimes. I'm in there because I didn't actually go to university.
Wow.
I didn't actually go to university. It was not something that went down very well with my mum.
Yeah.
Right, because she's like, she wanted. I've got 3 brothers. I'm the only one who didn't go to university.
Okay.
Because I wanted to work.
Yeah.
Well,
Immediately.
I could have gone. Right, I was doing my A levels and all that, and I was like, yeah, man, I want to work, man. I want to make money. Right, so she was like, go to university. I said, listen, I don't want to go to university. I want to, you know. So I had when I left college, and I had a good job,
Yeah.
but you know, they wanted me to go to university. So ironic now that I'm going to the very biggest university sometimes and speaking to students.
Yeah.
You know, I was saying last week it would have been, you know, my parents have both passed away now, but it would have been lovely for them to see me in these universities.
Absolutely.
You know? So
'cause you took a big. I mean, you're saying you're one of you're the only brother not to go to university.
Yeah.
You've taken that risk to not go, in terms of you've backed yourself. You've said, no,
Yeah.
I know what I want. I know what I'm capable of. I know what's best for me in terms of the way I work or the way I function.
Yeah.
But you know, at the same time, you've gone against your parents, so you've kind of, in that moment, it must feel like you may be letting them down. That's how I
Yeah.
felt about when I dropped out as well of uni. But
Yeah.
like you said, full circle moment. You're now the person standing up at the front, proper pinch me moment.
Yeah, in the-
speaking to students, like that is
in the biggest universities
Yeah.
that you can possibly think of, right? By the way, my kids, if you're watching it, you're going to university. So, but I feel there, right? True, I said, right? Because that's what we do now. Dad, I saw you on a video. You said you, right? You're going, yeah, right? My other daughter, she went and she done really, really well at university. So, yeah, I wanted to work, man. I was like, I'm ready to get out in the world and work, and you know. I guess I've always had that sort of entrepreneurial sort of you know what I mean?
you say you love to be busy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I love to be busy. I love to be out there, you know. So I took that decision to get out and start working from quite early.
Yeah. So you got three brothers
3 brothers, yeah.
and any sisters?
No sisters, man.
And how many children?
I've got 3 children.
3 children.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right,
So you're busy.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is the thing, right? So I want to touch on this first. I've actually got my own thing that I've brought to the pod, right? You brought your show and tell.
Okay.
You know I know Ken very well, so I had to make sure I
What's
got.
she done? Right. What
I had
has
to
she
make sure I
done?
got some photos. So I want to show you this photo first, right?
Right.
We'll put this in the edit, hopefully.
Okay.
You know, it won't be too difficult to do. But I want to hand you a photo, and I just
Hey,
want to.
Ken, you're in trouble here. What's your...
She spoke about family.
Right.
There's obviously so much to unpack there. Your first job, we're going to get into that. But I want to hand you this photo, and I just almost want you to tell me how you feel in this moment. And you might not remember the moment, you might, but I'm sure you will.
All right.
Big moment. So let me hand this to you.
Okay.
Don't worry about showing it to the camera or anything. I just want you to kind of...
Oh,
This
yeah,
is
so
incredible,
that's,
isn't it?
yeah, that's Kenya. Right, she looks the same, actually. She still looks the same. But yeah, that was a proud moment. She was my first kid. And, you know, I was saying to Cecil the other day, he's just had his first one. It is special when you have your first child, you know what I mean? Life changes.
Absolutely.
Life changes, man. Now you now have serious responsibilities. It's not just about you.
That's why I've run from it.
Listen, don't do it till you're ready, man. You know what I mean? I say that to people all the time. Don't do it till you're ready, because it's a serious responsibility, and it's a responsibility for life. You know, but it's a beautiful moment as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else you got? I'm worried now. You know?
I've got so many. I actually saw Kenya's face. I always say Ken. I saw Kenya's face in so many of your relatives and your family members. So I was like, I could piece it all together. But anyway,
I'm getting worried, man. What's this one? Ah, my mum and dad.
Wow.
Yeah, this isn't like a lovely picture. I think this is when they first come to England. So you can see my dad, man. He was always dapper, smart.
They
always used to wear that.
Back in the day, weren't they? Always dapper.
Yeah, always used to wear that hat, man. He was known for his hat. Even when he got older, he's known for his hat. But yeah, like very dapper. I remember my dad, right? He said to me, he said that when he first come to England, he was surprised at how people dressed.
Yeah.
Because he was like, they all came really smart, suits, this, that. And he goes, he saw people like string vests and this and that. He's going, boy, he's expecting people in England to dress better.
Yeah.
That's what he said, you know what I mean? But I love that picture. I love that picture.
It reminds me of my grandparents as well. Everyone back in the day just seems like they dressed in
No,
such a...
in those days, like my dad said, you couldn't wear jeans or nothing. You had to smart dress. Yeah.
Prim and proper.
Prim and proper, man. Suit. You know what I mean? And my mum's father was a tailor.
Oh.
Yeah, so he made suits and things like that. Yeah.
And can I ask as well, actually? So you were born here.
Yeah.
And they obviously came over from Jamaica.
Yeah, they came from Jamaica.
So, like, when
they got married over here. They came from Jamaica. And they knew each other in Jamaica, but they came here, and then they got married here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what kind of upbringing did you have in regards to, like, how strict were they? How, like...
Yeah, strict, man.
You used to get licks, innit?
Licks, right? Licks. Right? They were strict. Old school. My dad, an old school Jamaican.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and my mum. Right? My mum didn't really dish out the licks. My dad did. You know what I mean? But he was serious, man. He didn't play. Right?
Good cop, bad cop.
Boy, I don't know about good cop, bad cop. Like, just like, don't, listen... Certain things, don't mess around at school, man. If you know what I mean, listen, it ain't that we didn't mess around at school, but if that got back, you're in trouble. And my mum used to work at the school as a cleaner. Okay. So when she started working there as a cleaner, man, I hated it, man, because like she got on very well with a lot of teachers, so she'd get the intel. You know what I mean? So they'd be like, Mrs. Law, I'm sorry to tell you, Robbie got a detention, you know what I mean? But, bro, you get home that night, licks, you know what I mean? My dad would be like, your mother tell me, say, I get a detention. I true that. And then later on now, my dad had other weapons where it'd just be like, you see the football thing? Forget about that, you know, I go. Or because we used to play a lot of sports and that, so he'd use that, you know what I mean? And they didn't play. When it came to school, there were certain things, school, having manners.
Of course.
Right, if they even heard that you was like rude to another older person or something, they're not going to tolerate that, you know what I mean? And then keep the place tidy, you know, already, right? Those sort of things, they were on it. But then it was a great childhood.
Absolutely, of course.
And
these values were instilled in you.
Discipline, but it was a great childhood, man. I loved the way they brought us up.
And what's the...
Couldn't do that now, though.
No.
We'd be childlike.
Yeah, it's very much so.
Yeah,
you'd be reported immediately. What's your favourite value that you have within you now that you think they've instilled in you?
Do you know what I think they instilled in me? Like that sort of manners and, having respect for people. They really instilled that in me, you know what I mean? So have respect for people, don't, you know what I mean? Especially when people are older than you, when you're growing up, have respect, know how to talk to people, have respect for people, and treat people how you want to be treated. That's how they brought me up, and that still stays with me till today. Yeah.
It's fascinating to think about because such a long time ago in regards to like grandparents, parents, but you really do see yourself in them so much in your day to day.
I look at that generation, they just had simple rules.
Yeah.
And life is about simple rules, you know. Simple. And if we follow them, we're much better people. It's just a bit complicated. Nowadays, everything's so complicated, and but if you follow simple rules, it goes far.
Yeah. I wanna hand you this one because this is you with your brother. And
yes,
SJA winner, multi-award winner, Robbie.
Yeah, won at the Sports Journalism Awards. That was a really nice moment, right? Because starting off this platform, years and years of getting cussed off by industry people. Yeah, you lot, you're noisy. Yeah, you're only in it because when fans go mad, you can get views and this and that. And then we win a sports journalism award, which is the most prestigious award you can win. We won it for an interview that we done with the Prime Minister, which was all about football. And that was a real moment. That was a real special moment for me to win that award. And for the win for us, that was like after all these years, that finally the recognition that I think we deserved, you know?
Yeah. The final photo I have before we move on to the next section is this one.
This is a great photo. So this is me and my brothers and my dad. And my dad used to love horse racing.
Yeah.
Right. So as a lot of West Indian parents of that era did. So they'd be down the bookie. Remember they used to say, well, I'm going on a bookie, you know.
Yeah.
Right. And he wasn't like, you know, the funny thing about it is they gamble, but they didn't gamble big money. They bet like 10p on a horse and 50p and that. So they weren't, you know, but he loved going to, you know, betting on horses.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's something that a lot of them from that era bought from Jamaica. Because they used to go to the track. So we then started later on saying to him, God, Dad, we never seen you go to a race. Do you want to go to a race? So I remember we took him to his first sort of race over here and he absolutely loved it. So then every year we try and take him. So I think this one was Lingfield horse racing. And that was a really lovely photo that we took there with all of us, and we took him and he loved it. We had him in like hospitality as well.
Yeah.
He didn't stop talking about it.
Really?
He absolutely loved it, man. Yeah, that's a lovely picture.
Yeah. That there, I could tell there was a nice kind of celebration type moment.
Yeah. We were a really tight family.
Yeah.
Really tight family, you know what I mean? Like, even when my dad was starting to get ill, he lived till he was 92.
Wow.
So he lived a long, good life, but anything at all, and we're still like this to this day. Anything happens to any of us, everything gets dropped, man. We're there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're a very close-knit family, all of me and my brothers, so yeah.
That's mad. I actually want to go on a funny note in terms of you and your brothers. 3 brothers.
Yeah.
Surely there must have been some scraps.
Because
Because your brother's into the boxing. So I want to get into like, the dynamics in the household as you were growing up. Did anybody start to... You know, throw their weight around.
It's funny because you imagine like it's a house full of boys, right?
Yeah.
So it's my dad and 4 boys, and we all love sport. We love football. We love all sports.
Yeah.
So for starters, my mum used to be always moaning about how she can never get to watch anything on TV. We ever watch our sport, football. We can't watch nothing else, you know. But in those days, you know what I mean. Like my dad, the remote was his.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? All he ever used to watch was like football, sport, cricket and all that, or news, right? That's it, right? And then, the dynamics of me and my brother, listen, we got on great, but
course.
occasionally there would be tear-ups, man. Me and my brother, you know what I mean? He did boxing from a very young age. You know him, he still loves boxing.
Of course.
He used to do, but I did a bit of boxing, but he was serious boxer.
Yeah.
Like amateur boxer, Southern area title, fighting for and things like that. And we used to have arguments, man. There was a few times like we just went out into the garden and said, right.
It's on site now.
Winner takes all. You know what I mean? And it was on. You know what I mean? So, that happened on a few occasions, man.
Did you all go to like the same school? What's like the age gaps? Because obviously, as much as you might fight each other, you might get defence as well.
So my older brother's a couple of years older than me, so we was at the same school. And I remember like when I first started going to the school, like the teachers would be like, you know, you say your name in the registration and say, Robbie Lyle. Yeah. And they're like, you're not related to Laurie Lyle, are you? I'd be like, yeah, that's my brother. They're like, oh, God.
I know exactly the sentence. I know it.
You go, oh, no, not another one. You know what, at school, we were just normal kids in that, we did get into some bothers and stuff like that. Yeah. But we did our work because we knew the consequences of. So it'd be like a lot of times when sort of exam times is coming, man, I'd be like, nah, I got to, because if I don't pass them, I'm in problems. Yeah. You know? But we had a lot of fun at school and, you know, growing up was nice, man. Growing up was nice. I was saying to my daughter the other day that like when we was growing up, you know, when the summer came, like, you know, like you see everybody now, they're all going on holidays. Like, we went nowhere. Yeah. They always go on holidays. My parents didn't really have a lot of money. They weren't, you know, my dad worked as a plasterer, my mum worked as a cleaner, you know what I mean? They didn't have money. So when the summer come, apart from the odd trip to, you know, I think we did a Jamaica one year, like, you know, but when the summer came, we just, you know, go down the park and play cricket or football all day long. Our holiday, and we loved it at the time. We thought this was good enough, right?
Yeah.
Was like going to see my cousins around London. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that was, you know, and did you speak to, like, I know I'll be at school, I'll speak to some of my friends, especially some of my white friends.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, yeah, Robbie, man, we've just come back from Spain. And I was just thinking, boy, I ain't never been to Spain. I ain't been there nowhere. Because we just didn't have the money to do that. Yeah. So, but I didn't miss it because it was something I didn't really do. We just used to go down the park and we did it all. We literally, my mum would just say, yeah, you lot can go to the park and just make sure you're back before it's dark. Yeah. You know, nowadays it's a bit more difficult to do those things, isn't it?
I was going to ask, actually, what do you miss most from those days to the present day? Maybe having your own kids and seeing your own childhood and
that freedom. And I do feel that sometimes we're a bit too possessive with kids now. It's like, yeah, there are problems out there, but there were problems in my time as well. But I feel sometimes we need to trust our kids a bit more, like bring them up and show them how to deal with certain situations. Because I had a lot of situations, but, you know, I always knew, right, it's time to walk away from that situation. It's teaching kids that. I know it is a bit worse now, but it ain't a lot worse.
I think the crime rate's dropped, I've seen.
Yeah, it's not. I think we're a bit over.
Because there's social media and the internet.
You know what I mean? Everybody always thinks every time is worse than the previous time. But it's not actually not as much worse than when we were growing up. Because when we was growing up, I remember, man, we're gone and them thing there, you know what I mean? So, you know, but that freedom we had to just go and just explore and, you know, it was beautiful, man. Those times were nice.
You got a lot of street smarts, I'm guessing, from that period of time as well.
A lot of street smart. You know, you learn a lot. Yeah. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But it's important to learn these things, you know? So
yeah. So you were saying you was a kind of maybe in the middle type student. You got your grades when you had to get them. But at the same time, you could get sent out as well. You might chat a little bit.
I don't. But
what was the worst thing that happened?
So if you saw my reports, was always that. You chat too much. That was my reports. Always. You know, Robbie's a good student when he puts his head down, but he's always talking. But you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So that was like one of my problems. But I guess I chat a lot now. And it's actually it's actually a good thing. You know what I mean? So, but. What was the
worst thing that you maybe did at school?
The worst thing? Well, listen, man, I had fighting, really. Yeah. That's what I got into the worst trouble for. Yeah. Was fighting. Because I was kind of like, right, if someone's messes around me, I ain't having it. Right? And I've always been that sort of person. I'm not backing down. Yeah. Right? So that's the Jamaican in me, you know what I mean? I remember, what? Brother, you have to talk to, you know what I mean? Which is not always a good thing, by the way, right? So he was fighting. His fighting is what I got into most trouble for. Yeah.
I'm thinking about like best and worst traits from having like Caribbean heritage. Obviously, like best traits, the food, the music. Obviously, I know you can cook. I know you can cook it because I know when you went away and I was chatting to Kenya and she's like, Dad's been gone a while.
No, I love cooking, man. I actually love cooking. And I learned that from my mum. Yeah. And I remember she said to me, she said, hey boy, come learn. Because she said, you want to know how to cook. So she goes, you know what I mean, don't depend on a woman. Yeah. When you're cooking, you have to learn how to cook yourself. And then I just used to watch her. Never really used to cook, but just watched her. So when my time came now, when I did eventually move out and stuff like that, I knew how to cook. I remember my first girlfriend that I lived with. Yeah. The first time I lived with a girl, right? And I remember one day, we had an argument. And she goes, right, that's it. I'm not cooking nothing for you. Right? She goes, I'm not cooking. I'm not cleaning. You do it all yourself. I said, well, yeah, there's a washing machine there. That's easy. I know how to operate that. And I can cook better than you. So it's all right.
You didn't get a box in your face for that one.
No, it didn't go that well. It didn't go that well, man.
I bet it didn't. She must be thinking, the cheek of this man.
I know, but I did learn how to, I learned that from her. And I love cooking to this day. I love cooking, man, because cooking's just about patience, you know? Yeah. Yeah, it's about patience and experimenting.
It's art, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
If you treat it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mad. So I'm going to ask you, right? First, actually, I was going to ask you about your first job, but then now that you've spoken about the first girlfriend, you had that kind of suave about you. You were moving to the girls.
Oh, you know, I was in the music business, man. So you know when you're in that music business, man. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you meet, you know. I wouldn't say I was a
smooth
player.
talker.
You know what? I wasn't a smooth talker, really. I was a little bit shy, if anything. But the music thing helped you because, like, now all of a sudden you got a bit of profile. So you didn't have to do as much talking as you did before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't describe myself as like, no, man, going around gal everywhere. I was never like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it helped. The music thing helped.
So I've got a picture.
Oh, God.
No, you're lucky.
Now I'm getting worried.
No, this is
I'm getting worried
You're
now,
lucky,
man.
bro, because I was trying to get this. This is the picture I was, obviously, I've got loads of great pictures, but I also was trying to get this picture, but I couldn't get it in time to print it. And Jason knows, big up Jace, also had your firstborn as well. So, you know what I mean? He was talking about firstborns. He's on production today, big him up. I really want to print this out, so I only have it. It will be in the edit. I'm hopefully, you know, but I just want to show you actually anyway.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
From the album cover from my album that I did called Crucial View.
Wow, gold chain.
Gold chain.
Did you buy that?
Yeah. No, what do you think?
You know, these rappers these days be renting their chains and bringing them back.
I'll tell you, right. So I used to have a business back in the day. This is when I'll tell you about the entrepreneurial thing, right? So I used to have a business back in the day, this would be before your time.
Yeah.
They used to have a program like MTV Raps and stuff like that, right? And this is when the hip hop was really blowing up, right? And you see all these rappers and they'd have all these, you know, clothes and jewelry and stuff like that. And I was like, hey, you know, if you could get those clothes that they're rocking in those videos, because you couldn't get them in the UK, and sell them, you could make a good money off of that. So a friend of mine that I went to college with, me and him were best friends. He'd moved to New York, and he'd been living there for a while. And I went over there one year, and then I met a friend of his who's like in the wholesale sort of clothes thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, this could work. So I bought clothes over there, bought some clothes, but like the sort of clothes that they wore in the videos, like that, you know, FUBU. At that time, it was things like Carl Canai and all these sort of makes, these sort of black-owned makes. And then I brought them back to the UK to a market stall, and I sold them, and they just went like, literally within about a week, they were gone. And then I just started doing that for quite a few years. So I always used to have all the latest clothes. It's funny because I did a photo shoot last week, and they said to me, Robbie, we want to wear this jacket in it. One of the changes of clothes are there. It was an Averex jacket. And I'm like, I remember them jackets from back in the day. I used to sell those. Wow. And I was asking them, I was like, how much is that now? They go, yeah, they're about £1,200. I was going, yeah, even back in the day, they were like $700, $800. I remember I used to buy them, bring them back over here. So I used to go get those clothes. I remember I had a market stall in Luton Market. I had a market stall in Shepherd's Bush Market. And I used to sell clothes, man.
It's big business.
So like, and I'd go and I'd get my jewelry over there. So even when I had like my chain, I went down to the Diamond District in New York, and I got my chain. I used to have like a bracelet. I was like, bro, listen, I used to come back, man. I used to have all the latest lick, right? I used to go, yo. Like,
That's insane.
And what I used to do, the way I used to do it, I'd watch a load of the videos.
Yeah.
I'd say someone's rocking something really, really nice. I'll just go to New York and just bring back a load of those and sell them. And it used to be, it was a roaring trade for a while. And then after a couple of years, a lot of the sort of business over here cottoned onto it and started doing their own. And then that business sort of, but I did that. So that changed proper, man. What do you mean, man? I've got that chain. All my jewelry I had at that time, I got in America.
Wow. Because that's quite an expensive business, isn't it? In terms of like what you're saying, you have to buy, and the buying price is still quite high.
Yeah, but no, it worked out good because what it is, you could go to New York and you could buy those clothes, right? So obviously, in those times as well, the dollar to the pound was nearly double.
Right.
So you could go over there and you could buy like, say, I don't know, like an outfit for, it would cost you, say, £30 for that outfit. You come back and sell that for 100.
Yeah.
Or more.
Yeah.
You know, and then you'd have certain like high rollers who'd come in. You know, some of drugs you, I mean, right?
It's branching out for a reason, people.
And they come in and they be like, yo, Robbie, man, when you got it, more on this.
Yeah.
So they'd want some big things. So they'd be like, yo, I want the Average jacket and I want this and I want that. And so they give you orders. So you go over there, get that, bring that back. Well, it was good money, man. I was doing all right off of it. I was, you know.
Wow. So was that your first job?
No, I was.
That was later down the line.
My first job, I worked in the civil service.
Okay.
So I worked at the. It was actually DHSS in Notting Hill. Oh. So I worked there. Then after that, I got into working in housing as a housing officer. So I worked in housing, and then I came out of that because the music thing was blowing up for me. So I was doing music and I was doing that at the same time, and then the music thing got so big for me because I did a tune and it went to #1 in the reggae charts, and I was getting shows everywhere, and I was like, I want to do this permanently.
Yeah.
So I was touring around Europe and America, I did a couple of times and things like that. And so I went into music. In that for about 5-6 years, I used to do lots of promotions. I had my own sort of little promotion company where I used to promote events, shows and stuff like that. I've done some quite big shows sometimes.
Yeah.
I used to do like, you know, shows with a lot of reggae artists. When they come from Jamaica and come to the UK, I'd do shows with them. I'd do shows with American artists. And did that for a while. And then when that started to drop and go quiet, then I got back into, you know, work again.
Yeah. So
and then this time I then trained as a surveyor and got into, I became a building surveyor.
So, but did you want to do music when you was in school? Because you knew you didn't want to go uni. So did you know?
No, and the music thing came about through my brother, because my brother had a sound system, right? So I just started rolling with the sound system, and I just discovered that I had a talent for MCing. And how I discovered that talent is I just used to warm up. When they used to do little parties and that, I'd just be on the mic warming up, just messing around. And I just, you know, people started saying to me, "Hey, yo, you're pretty good, you know. You're good, you know."
You put together a couple bars.
Yeah, you know, and I just started writing lots of lyrics and stuff like that, and my name just started getting bigger and bigger, and I just became quite big in the UK. Like, I'd be all around. I used to do shows all around the country. Then I started recording music. And yeah, it blew up from there. Those were the days of pirate stations and that, so they feature my tunes heavily. It's funny because I meet a lot of people now who are like older, and they'll be like, "Yo, Robbie, I remember you from the music days, man. I used to love the tunes you did and that, you know, and respect for what you've done with what you've gone on to do now. But they remember me from those days." You know, and so in those days, I was quite big in that field for like, I had a good run of about, say, I was involved in music for about 15 years.
Wow.
But first part of it was sound system, which is kind of real underground. Then I started making like music, and, you know, that did really well for me. And then after that, I was doing the promotion side of things, you know what I mean, where I was keeping a lot of events and that, because again, that was kind of the entrepreneur in me. I was like, I'd go and I'd do shows, and I'd appear on a show and say, I don't know, get 500 quid. And I'd look around and I'd be like, yeah, the promoter, he's charged £10 to get in here. You know, he's giving me 500 quid, but it's about, boy, there must be about 800 people in there, man. If I kept this, I could keep this myself. And that's when I started keeping my own events, and I started my little promotional company. I remember I called it Jet Lag Promotions.
Jet Lag Promotions?
Because at that time I was flying out a lot, because I was doing the clothes thing as well at the same time. So because I used to fly out, because sometimes I'd be going to New York like every other week.
Yeah.
I knew my way around New York. I was going there so much.
Yeah.
Right. So we called it Jet Lag Promotions, and I had a little office, and we used to keep promotions and stuff like that. I had a nightclub that I bought. First nightclub I had, it was with my cousin. Second nightclub I had was with Coogan, who does the boxing channel AFTV.
Okay,
we had a nightclub together. So I was heavily into the music and the night club industry for quite a while.
That's insane. And did you ever? So obviously, when you're performing, did you ever have a moment where you were nervous, or was this just a natural skill for you to just go up on stage in front of all those people?
It was natural. It was natural. I think it sets me in good stead even to this day, because it's one thing, I never got nervous. never got nervous going on stage, man. I don't know. Like, even I used to speak to a lot of people in the industry then who were big artists. And they'd be like, I'll be on shows with them sometimes. I see them behind stage and they're sweating. And they're like, boy, Robbie, man, I've got a bun of spliff, you know, boy, I'm nervous, you know. I've got to drink 2 brandy. And me, I'd be like, bro, I never got nervous going on stage. Even I remember I did Reggae Sunsplash in Jamaica.
Yeah.
And that was at the time, that's the biggest thing I'd ever done, man. Like, Reggae Sunsplash, you're in Jamaica, home of reggae music. And Jamaica crowds are unforgiving. I mean, them time you come on stage, if you chat any foolishness, man, they'll run you off of that. And I remember I came on stage, and even then I wasn't nervous. And I came on stage and, you know, I just used to embrace it.
Yeah, that's insane. Because, like, what age are you at this point?
Oh, I'm in my 20s them time, man.
Mid-20s, maybe?
Yeah, early 20s to right up to 30s and that, yeah.
And at that point, are your parents starting to understand why you didn't go to university because of all the... Really? Because I'm thinking, wow, you've done so much here.
You know what, right? They respected... You know what? They respected the fact that, like, with me, I always tried to mitigate the risk by working at first until I saw that this is the time to go into it fully.
Yeah.
But I think when I was doing the music thing, they were always, especially my mum, she was always a bit worried because reggae music at them times is a bit wild, wild west. You know what I mean? There's a bit of trouble involved in it sometimes, and, you know, I had a reputation for that, and I think she'd always be worried.
Yeah.
She'd always be saying to me, you know, be careful when you go to these things, and I mean, because there was a reputation around. You had to be tough.
Yeah.
You had to be tough, man. You couldn't, you know, if you know. I remember one time doing a show in Leicester, and it got shot up.
What?
Like, you know, some guy had an argument with a guy on the door, and they came back and just started firing shots. It had a reputation. It was a bad reputation for certain things. You know what I mean? And a lot of the promoters of some events were not. You know, they're not the promoters of now. They weren't Live Nations and things like that.
Yeah.
They were the local gangster brother.
Yeah.
Who had a lot of money, who said, well, I'm going to keep an event because they had a lot of money. Yeah. So, you know, so I could understand why they could get a bit worried, you know what I mean? And you had to what we call in back in the day, you had to have a little bit of backative. You had to have a little couple man behind you. Look, I remember I had
your brothers.
I had my brother, but then I also had at one time when I started doing like performing, I had like an agent who was an agent stroke
bodyguard,
yeah. And he was a serious guy, yeah. Right? So, you know, because if you didn't have that, you could do a show. You know what I mean? You're young, innit? So you could do a show, and some of these guys are a bit older. You know what I mean? They wouldn't want to pay you.
Of course.
But if you had my guy there now, you're getting paid. Yeah. Because he's making sure the money's there. You know Absolutely. What I mean? So it was a bit wild, wild west. So I could understand why she was worried sometimes. It's not as organised. It wasn't as organised then as what music is now. I feel that, like, the guys, I always say to the guys that are doing music now, you're in a good era now because you can even track what's happening with your music. I couldn't in my day. I remember... I did my tune "Proud to Be Black," which went to #1 in the UK reggae charts, but it was also blowing up in America, and I didn't have a clue.
How would you know? How would you know?
Exactly, until my friend rang me one day, the same one that I said that I went to. He rang me up one day and go, boy, Robbie, man, I went out into a club the other night, man, in Brooklyn, man. Boy, your tune played, the place on fire. I said, is it? I didn't even know it's out there. He goes, yeah. I said, Dad, do me a favour, man. I go down to, like, I forgot the name of the shop, but they had a shop in Brooklyn, VP Records, it was called. I said, go to VP and see where it is in their chart, how's it's doing. And when he went down, he said to me, yeah, boy, it's in the top 10. I didn't know that. In Miami, it was #2. Then when I went to the guy over here who put the tune out, and I said to him, I didn't know the tune was blowing up in America. The tune's doing well out there, man. My friend he goes, oh yeah, we just sent it there the other day. But he was lying. He knew the tune had been out there, and he'd probably been collecting of it. He didn't say nothing to me. So now with social media and everything, you can track what's happening. You can see the different places where you're doing well, and you know what I mean. So, I actually think a lot of artists now, they can be more independent and do well, without having to rely on record companies and things like that.
So I just want to get into it a bit more. Like, how were you promoting your music? Because there's a lot of younger people listening. The way it was done back then to now is completely different. So how are you?
By performing. You promoted a lot of your stuff in them days by performing. You promoted it by doing lots of interviews on, like, because there was a lot of pirate stations those times. So you go on a lot of the pirate stations and that. And it was a lot of self-promotion, but through self-promotion, through doing shows and through, pushing yourself out there, being on sound systems, just having yourself constantly
You're
out
trying
there.
to sell CDs?
Yeah, it was CDs and records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is how you determine, I guess, how much you're going to make.
Yeah. But then the thing is, a lot of times the record companies, they're the ones that are getting the figures.
Right.
So they'll tell you the obvious things that you can see, like you can see when your tune's blowing up in the UK. So they found out, but they could have your tune going abroad into very different territories and doing well, but they didn't really tell you.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was a lot of dodgy stuff that went on.
And I guess you knew that at the time.
Yeah, you know the business you're in, man. There's a lot of unscrupulous characters in that industry.
Yeah.
Who, but it was a great time, man. I used to love the music industry. I used to love the sound system scene. I still talk to some people who are involved that I used to be involved in back in the day. You know what I mean? There's something, I was chatting to Tip Irie, he came on our stream the other day. He's still doing his thing, even now. And in them days, he was on Saxon, and he was like huge, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I also feel that those times prepared me for now.
Yeah.
Prepared me for now, because you got a little hype, so you learned how to deal with that. You learned how to deal with different types of people, all the sort of things that happen now, but now's on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
You dealt with then times, so I learned a lot of things, learned how to react to things, so it was a good learning.
So I'm guessing with all of these experiences that you had prior to what we know you for now, like you said, you've known how to deal with the money, you've known how to deal with maybe some fame or some hype or some, we say bait, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Whilst also the discipline and the manners and all that kind of stuff that you were taught while you were younger.
Yeah. So
are you ever phased? Are you ever nervous with anything you do now? Obviously, pinch me moments. But
listen, there's things that phase you, but you know how to you learn how to deal with it. But I think with what it did, those times, it's given me like a thing where I'm not scared to do things, to try things. I always say to people, try not to roll with fear. So me, I'll try something. Like even when I started doing AFTV, spoke to a couple of people. I said, yeah, I'm thinking of starting. Boy, Robbie, man, hey, that ain't gonna work. How you gonna do this? I'm thinking, boy, they're right, But then I thought, actually, no, what do they know? They're not in the media industry. They don't know, you know what I mean? So I just tried it.
Yeah.
I said, you know what, let me do it. If it fails, it fails. I'm not scared of failure. I'm not scared of trying something. I give it a try. If it fails, it fails. But I don't care. I don't care who's going to laugh. I don't care who's going to criticize. I don't care who's going to cuss. I tried it. It didn't work. We move.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like that.
Yeah. It's got to a point now. I remember because I was listening to a few other interviews you've done, obviously doing my research, and you say it's a media company. It's not just a channel. It's
a media company. It's not a channel. It is you're part. You take part in some of the stuff we do, and you see that. I took a decision quite a few years ago where I'm like, it's ain't about. I don't want it to be just like a one-man band. It's just me. I could sit and just keep it really small and make a really good amount of money, but I don't want that. What I really want to do is I want to build a media company where it's got something's lasting, and also, you can bring through other talent and stuff like, and stuff like that as well. So yeah, I view what I do now as a media company. My overall company is GFN stands for Global Fan Network. Underneath that, we've got AFTV, we've got DR, we've got several other channels. And yeah, we're doing, a lot of things big things, or, not just even in the UK. So, yeah, I always wanted to, from quite early on in the development of AFTV, I was looking at that vision and I'm like, how can we make it so it's not just
YouTube? Because even when I'm on DR and we're on the panel, I'm thinking YouTube. Because I'm a YouTuber. That's what I call myself. I'm just a YouTuber. But I'm not thinking about, because it's TikTok and it's Facebook. Facebook is, for me, is nothing to me. Like, I don't think Facebook is still running, but it is. It is, and there's still content there, and people are still making money there, and there's still...
We got as many followers on Facebook as we do on YouTube.
That blows my mind, because I don't even think about Facebook, but it's a different audience.
Right, so I'll tell you this, right? So this is why you have to treat every platform. I'll give you this for your channels as well, because you're doing great stuff.
Thank you.
And I feel that what the mistake some people make is they just think YouTube, right? And I love YouTube because YouTube's the platform where you can monetize on the best and stuff like that, right? But there's some people, their platform's Facebook. There's some places in Africa where it's something to do with how Facebook is, where you can watch Facebook easier than YouTube. Oh. Because the way it loads or something like that.
Yeah.
So there's people of an older demographic, Facebook's their platform. They don't really go on YouTube. You've got some other people of a younger persuasion, their platform's TikTok. You've got some other people with Snapchat. You've got some other people with Twitch. So for me, I've been, Instagram, I've always been like, let's be big on all of them.
Yeah.
And let's try and treat every platform with its own respect. Because, it's not just about just cutting down everything and just flinging it out on all these. Try and treat these platforms like you're dealing with them individually.
Yeah.
So you've got to be across all of them.
Yeah, because they all have their own algorithms, their own trends, their own pieces of types.
And now there's other things like we've recently done a deal with like Samsung TV. So we're on all the Samsung TVs right around the world. You can watch, AFTV, DR Sports, when you're doing Weekend Roundup, that's on Samsung TV. Someone's got a Samsung TV, they can watch it on there. And we're doing other deals at the moment with other companies that have got, we're getting onto, because there's a lot of platforms now that are doing things in video. They've realised that video is the biggest thing. So Spotify now are going big on video.
Yeah, I've seen.
You'll probably see within the next 5 years, they'll probably be bigger in video maybe than even audio, because that's the way it's going.
Yeah.
Netflix are going hard on trying to do more things to video. So you have to think bigger now than just YouTube. Even though YouTube's a very, very important platform. I think YouTube's the biggest platform there is. It's the most watched platform in the world.
Yeah.
More people watch YouTube on TV than any TV channel. So YouTube is very, and the one thing I always give a lot of respect to YouTube, I have a good relationship with them. They always invite me to all of their big events, and they see me as a very important person in this sports space. But the one thing I give a respect for them is that they've helped me to create what I've done, because they monetize, they've helped a lot.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very important platform, but they're not the only platform. There's other platforms out there.
Yeah.
I was over in Africa the other day in Algeria. I was chatting to like Cabby, who's like, he's got about 50 million, I think it's more than that, 60 odd million followers on TikTok. Yeah. He's huge. TikTok's his platform, So you can have different platforms where you're big on, you know?
When did you, so what kind of spurred you to make that decision to go from you? Because I remember the early days when I wasn't even online. I remember just AFTV on YouTube, very much YouTube, fan cams, a couple shows here and there. When did you make that decision to go from YouTube to, no, this is a media company? Because I remember when you were getting a lot of criticism earlier, and I know you've spoken about this before, but it's just fans. Why do they have such a strong opinion, or why are they giving it? Can't really take them seriously. Did that play any part in terms of, because now you've almost gone media company, and some of those media companies are trying to get closer to
copy what
YouTube,
we do.
If anything, trying to go back. But I don't know how do you look at that dynamic now?
I wasn't concerned about them.
Yeah.
I heard them all talking, and I was like, you know what, keep talking, because you obviously don't know the secret source to this thing, which is, we built a community of people who enjoy our content. So when people, you know, these different various people on radios and TVs and that were chatting their rubbish, I wasn't, it was just going through one ear and out the other, because I'm like, if you think that the only reason why people are watching our content is because they think we're going to rant every week, you're wrong. Carry on thinking that, because I know that's not the reason why. And from quite an early time, I'm like, you know what, this could be bigger, because the one thing that YouTube and these platforms give you is they level the playing field a bit, because they introduce you to a huge audience, right? Which is something, until before they came along, we didn't have that. We'd have to go through TV or radio. And let's be real, in those days especially, it's getting better now. For people like me and you, our chance of getting a look in there was next to zero. You know? So this offered an opportunity to make original content, you know, and to make good content, and for people to be able to see it and hear it and watch it and enjoy it and come back for more. So that's what YouTube and that's what all these platforms have done. They've given us a platform, as the word says, a platform to be out there, and it's worldwide. And the advantage that we have sometimes on these platforms is that we're making original content. So if you make original content in football, it goes right around, and you put it on YouTube or all these other platforms, it goes everywhere around the world. Whereas a lot of these companies over here in the UK, like say Sky and TalkSport, they've got rights to football, so they're geo-blocked. So you can't watch Sky in America. Because in America, I don't know who it is, whether it's CBS or whoever, they own the rights to the Premier League, say. So because they own the rights, they're the only ones who can show it in America. You can't watch Sky, unless you had a VPN or something, but you can't watch Sky. You can't watch CBS in the UK, right, apart from little clips on them, because they own it. So, but you can watch AFTV, DR Sports, your channel, anywhere across the world. So that's why you'll find that you'll go anywhere across the world and everybody knows who you are. I was shocked at first, but I was going to all these countries. I was getting mobbed. I was getting mobbed in Australia, mobbed in America. I was like, what is this?
Singapore.
I go, this is mad. And then one day, a friend of mine said to me, he goes, yeah, but Robbie, like, you know, add up how much views you're getting across all your platforms, like 30, 40 million a month. No wonder people know you. I was like, yeah, actually, that's true.
Damn,
and it's worldwide. And it'd be the same for you.
Millions of people. You don't think about it.
You don't think about it. You don't think about it.
You're just looking into a camera, as we are. And there's nobody here. And it's like, okay, you know someone's watching, you know people are watching, but those numbers on the screen, you can't really compute or calculate what that number actually is. That's a stadium full all the time, every time.
And you don't know who's watching.
That's another thing.
Some people that have stopped me and said, "Yo, I love your channel. I watch it all the time." I'm shocked. I'm like, what?
What's been your best interaction from doing this? Like someone,
from what? Sorry.
What's been your best interaction from doing what you do, your work, and someone stopped you? Like, what's been your
when I met
best
first,
and worst? Actually,
I think I always say when I first met Thierry Henry. And I was so nervous to meet him because I'm an absolute hero in football, and he already knew who I was. He knew who I was. He knew the channel. He loved the channel. I was like, wow, I can't believe it. You know, and then you just meet people just like, sometimes some big stars. And they're like, yeah, love your channel. The other day we was planning to do a football game. It ain't quite come off yet, but Justin Bieber's people got in contact and said, yeah, we love the channel. We see that you were looking to do a game. We'd be interested in playing you. Playing your AFTV team. I'm like, Justin Bieber. Like, so you don't know the people that are watching. You don't know the people that are watching you, Matisse.
No, I don't.
You don't know. You'll be there, you'll be doing your content, and there'll be people that are big stars, as well as, you know, your community of people that watch you. Big stars, politicians, huge people.
Princes.
And they love your content. I remember I met these sheikhs from Qatar. when they first reached out to me and they said, yeah, a guy reached out to me, said they'd like to meet you. I thought they were joking. I thought, I don't know if you ever seen that thing where they go fake shake. I thought it was that. I thought they're trying to prank me.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, I don't know about this, man. Turned out they were. They were sheikhs, man. Big, like, lovely guys as well. Really, really lovely guys. I'm still friendly to them to this day. I've been right around the world with this.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like, I've been to places that I would never... I told you, when I was growing up, I ain't go nowhere.
Yeah.
I ain't go nowhere. I went down to the park.
Everywhere.
This year alone, I've probably been to about 15 different countries this year alone. I've been the different continents this year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And everywhere you're going, people know who you are. They're talking to you. They love the content. It's incredible. Like, honestly, like, and I say to a lot of kids or a lot of people who are getting into this industry now, make good content, be patient. Your time will come, man. If you put it in, you put that work in, you will be shocked. You will go to places and you will not understand how people appreciate what you're doing. So put the work in.
Yeah.
Even if you do a video, it's 50 people are watching. That's 50 people. There's a lot of people.
I know.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who do a video now, and if they don't see like 10,000 people watching them, they're like, oh, it weren't all that, man. What are you talking about? Like you said, 10,000 people is a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. It's a stadium, Bournemouth.
Right? So, exactly. You know?
You got to think about it like that sometimes.
Yeah. First up, when we got 60,000 subscribers on AFTV, I remember Tao, who's used to be involved at the time, I said to Tao, yo, Tao, do you realise that's the Emirates? That's the Emirates. The amount of people in the Emirates Stadium that follow us.
Yeah.
No, it's been incredible, man. This journey has been a blessing, man, and it's been fantastic. But you got to put it in, man. You got to put it in. As much as I say all the wonderful things, there's been a lot of hard work that's gone into this. It's been a lot, like especially in the early days, man, without very little reward.
Talk to me about the early days. Like, what along the journey? What was your kind of Ureeka moment in terms of just this channel, all the channels that you have? What was the moment where you clicked in your brain? You were like, oh, like, yeah, this is actually definitely going to work. Because before that, maybe you're taking the risk. You said you don't fear failure. You don't mind, you know, getting the cussing or whatever, but you're going to go for it. But what was the moment where you're like, oh, this is definitely going to work?
Tell you the truth, from day one, right, when we done our first sort of videos, right, I remember people sharing it. People that we interviewed. No, it weren't no big numbers, but I saw them sharing it and I was thinking, this will work because people are sharing it. So they've enjoyed being on camera. And I said, when we get more established, people are going to share it even more. So I feel this. I didn't know what it would, how far, but I knew I was onto something then. But then obviously, when you start to get viral videos blowing up and stuff like that, and you starts to happen a lot, that's when you start to realize that, yeah, man, this can be something that can be sustainable. This can be big.
Yeah, it's interesting because I remember I've heard you speak about like the shifts that you've put in terms of the hours in a day where you've just gone for it, and it's just been recording after recording after recording, or driving up down from St. James's Park all the way back down, and then more recording. You were saying that in a previous interview, I think you was out in Singapore, you were out in one of these other countries, but you were doing Transfer Daily as well. So then
Still do that to this day.
Yeah, you're still doing that. Transfer Dailies at 2 a.m. Obviously, it's coming out in the morning for the people, but they don't know you've done it just before you've gone to bed.
I remember a couple of months ago I was in Jamaica, right? So they're doing a documentary on me at the moment where they're tracing my roots. This documentary will be out. I'm not sure if it'll be out hopefully this year or if not early next year. But when it comes out, I want everybody to, if you watch this, it's going to be great. But I remember I was out in the out all day, out in the field, hot, sweating thing. We got back to the hotel, right? And I'm with the production company and we're having some food and that and some drink. And then it's about 1 a.m. and then I'm saying, oh, Robbie, man, we have to get some sleep because tomorrow morning we've got to get up early again. I looked at my watch and I said, yeah, I've got to do Transfer Daily. They're like, what? I said, I have to do a Transfer Daily, man. People will be expecting it. They go, it's 1 a.m. I said, it's 1 a.m. here, but I go, in England, it's like, in the UK, it's like 6 a.m. And I said, and if I go bed now, when I wake up, that show's going to come out way too late in the afternoon. I better off do it now. And they go, you still got the energy to do it? I say, yeah, I'll do it. And then they actually didn't go to bed. They sat there, watched me do the research for about an hour.
Yeah.
Right. And then do the show. And they just like, they go, this is crazy, man. They go, we can't believe that. But I said, listen, this is the things you have to do. Like, you know, a lot of, like right throughout the summer, I'll be at all these different places abroad and I've got to do it. The funniest one I've ever done was I was in Vegas. Right.
Oh, that's a mad time difference.
Mad time difference when you go to Vegas. But I went out the night before and I was wavy. Trust me, man. I had to do the show because I'm like, yo, not only I'm a bit mash up here, I go, if I go to bed, I don't even know what time I'm waking up the next day because I've had a bit too much, right? Yeah. But I did the show, right? But I couldn't even remember a lot of the things I was saying.
My goodness.
Right?
Is this when you've linked Arsenal with Mbappe or something? You've done a madness to the point where it's like, yo, Robbie, this ain't happening, man. Come on.
And then I remember I woke up the next day, right? And I said to myself, where I got the next day, I said, boy, I was like, you know what? I had a bit. I go, boy. I think I was slurring some of my words, man. That was a heavy night. Man.
The comments.
But I said, I go. People. I go. They wouldn't even have noticed anyway. First couple of comments I saw, they like go. Man's going, yo, Robbie looks drunk, man.
They caught you immediately.
Yeah, they sussed me, bro.
Yeah,
they sussed me straight away. Absolutely. It's funny, you know what I mean? But nah, listen, like, yeah, Transfer Daily. Like to this day, man, my work ethic is still the same. You know what I mean? Like, you know, on a Monday. Well, like Monday just gone when we do weekend roundup. I wake up in the morning, 7 o'clock. I woke up 6:30 that morning. We had a game the day before against Chelsea. I got home about just before midnight. I woke up at 6 in the morning. 7 a.m. I did a show. Then left, came into the studio, did another show at 11 a.m. Did a show at 12:30. Did another show after that at 2:30. Did another show after that at about 3:30, then did another show at 5 live. That's a Monday. And the meetings and that in between.
That's what I'm saying, because you're not just, because like you said earlier, you're not just doing in front of the camera, you're doing behind camera in terms of you're doing deals and negotiations.
Tomorrow, right? I didn't know about this meeting, but I was told today.
Jace, pick up Jace.
Jace will know in the background. We had a meeting this morning. I was told this morning, oh yeah, Robbie, there's this breakfast meeting you got to attend at 8:30 in the morning. I was like, 8:30, right? But it's a match day tomorrow. Then I got another meeting at 2 o'clock. Then I got another meeting at 3:30. Then I got to get to the studio, and then I won't get until like 2 in the morning after that game because you got to do all the videos and. But listen, I ain't complaining because I know. I enjoy, the reason why I'm able to do that, so I enjoy what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Like, it's a lot of work. So I say to people, you've got to be, if you really want to go far in this thing, it's like anything. You want to go far in music, you got to put the work in. Because don't think when you see these burner boys and all that, if you think that they're just bouncing around and their man are put in hard work. I don't even know the guy, and I can tell just by you can see. I can see the work you put in. When I was the first time I've come to your studio now, look at the work. I'm looking around like, I already knew from watching your videos the quality of it, but I can see the work you're putting in and constantly putting in, and that's why you're doing well. And that's what it takes. You can't just turn up in this thing and just half-heartedly do it and expect to go far. No,
because it's a lot of people's dreams and it's a lot of people's, like, they're shooting for it and it's so concentrated now. It seems like when you get started, a lot of people want to get into it and they want to know how. And I think it's important for everybody to kind of hear your timeline of a normal Monday, just as one of the guys at the top of this in terms of you, Goldbridge, etc. Very few handful of you got 1 million plus channels. Very few people got that.
Put it in, man. You got to put that work in. Do not believe that you're gonna just. Even if I always say this, even if you do a viral video, do a video today, it goes viral, right? 1 million views. Everyone's patting you on the back. Well done. What about next week? About the week after that, the week after that, because that viral video that'd be gone. How do you sustain that? They always say, when you look at these guys, your Sidemen, KSIs, all these guys that are doing big things, I can tell you, met all these guys, know all these guys. They work damn hard, man. You have to be prepared to do that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it might be okay. But if you really want to like be big, you're gonna have to put the work in, man. As simple as that.
Yeah. What are some of the cons? Because with that timeline, I guess you don't get to maybe see your family as much as you'd want to.
Yeah.
Does it take its toll mentally sometimes in terms of the amount of workload that you've got? Because like you said, you are getting into a stage now where there's more people, there's more, production, there's more staff, there's more content creators that you're working with in terms of doing shows. So I can see, okay, Robbie's not on this, but he's been on so many things. He probably needs to not be on this so he can take a moment. But how do you juggle that work-life balance, I guess?
Yeah, work-life balance can be an issue. I try to listen. I try to what I try to do. Listen, you are very busy. You're running a company, and so that does mess with your family life. But I try to make sure always quality time. You know, 'cause it's about spending quality time. So, I try to do that. And then, it's a balancing act all the time. And then, when you run something, you shoulder all the issues as well and all the problems. And that's one of the definite cons, you know what I mean? Because with this sort of business comes a lot of that sort of stuff as well, which I don't enjoy. But I have to, you got to deal with it, you know what I mean? Because, it's your business. So you have to deal with the issues, the problems, and they will come.
Yeah.
They will come, man.
They're not usually of your own making, but because it's your platform, you're responsible for it, I guess. So you take the good with the bad and the rough with the smooth.
I used to have a real problem with that, Matisse, yeah? I used to be like, I didn't even do nothing. Why is man cussing me for? What, yo.
Yeah.
But I've learned now over the years, no, actually, it's your company. So you have to take responsibility for when something does go bad. It's as simple as that. It's like, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
It's not just me. If you look at like a politician, like say a president or a prime minister, one of his MPs will mess up, but he's the one who's got to go and talk about it and take them through. So I've accepted now that I have to, I used to have a problem with it. So, what have I done?
Yeah.
I ain't done nothing. And I say, yeah, but you ain't done nothing, but it's your company, you allowed this person, or you did this, or whatever. I was like, actually, okay. So now I've learnt now that you have to deal with these issues. But sometimes it's just like, you just...
Because it's interesting, because there's a fine line between listening, I guess, to the audience and what their opinion is on a matter and how much that plays in your decision making when you're dealing with these incidences when they just pop up, because at the end of the day, without the audience, we ain't here. If they don't watch, we have no job. But at the same time, you know the context, you know the details, you know more than they do to make more of an opinion and a judgment.
Exactly.
So how much, I want to start with the stress levels, because thankfully I've never had to deal with that in terms of like, someone calls you into an office, Robbie, this has happened, or, the click of the fingers.
Not yet.
Boy.
Your time will come, don't worry, man.
Because, you know what I mean?
No, you will. Listen to what happened, man.
But how do you feel in that moment? Like, forget everybody else around, because at that point, you got to think about everybody else, and I know you take that on your shoulders. But how do you feel in that moment? Like, do you separate AFTV and DR from yourself, or do you feel so engrossed in it now that it's like, you take it personally when something happens on these platforms? It's like it hurts you because
it hurts me. Yeah, it hurts me, and then also you have to. It's a lot to deal with, because first of all you got to deal with all the people that you employ. So your decision is going to affect those people. If you make a bad decision, if things go wrong, you could be laying people off. Because if it all goes wrong. I employ over 20 odd people, right? I've got a responsibility to them, right? So you got to think about them. You got to think about making the right decision. And like you said, what you just said is so true. Like, a lot of times there's this big echo chamber of noise out there, and everyone's talking this and talking that, and I know what happened, and they don't know jack, yeah? You know what happened. You know the context of it. You know the meetings and discussions you've had with the people involved and stuff like that. But you can't, and it'd be very unprofessional for you to be going out there in public and telling people what's going on. And you have to deal with it based on the information that you have and the talks that you're having with the people and stuff like that, and come to a conclusion, right? And then outside, everyone's making up noise. People are making videos and this and that.
Yeah.
And, you know, I had an incident the other day. Right? I had a thing the other day. I saw you had Turkish on your show the other day, right? So obviously Turkish moved on and's doing his own thing now, right? And respect to him for that. I see loads of people commenting on that situation.
Yeah.
Lots of people, video after video. There's people saying, "Robbie, come out and talk." What? Come out and talk about what? That's anything between me and Turkish is a personal, and that's a professional thing. And I'm not gonna come out and I'm not a battle rapper. I'm not out there to come out and
It's not Crucial Robbie.
discussing people. This is a professional. But then this is what I want to say, right? I saw a guy the other day, right? And I seen that this guy, he's done about 3 videos, right? I know the truth of what happened between Robbie and Turkish. So I saw the guy the other day.
Oh, really?
I saw the guy the other day.
Whoa.
And I don't even normally bother with these. You know, but I thought on this one, I said, do you know what? Actually, today I've got a bit of time.
I get like that as well.
Right?
Sometimes.
So I went over to him and I said, bro, you see me a lot, yeah? And I see you do a video. You said you know the truth. And you chatted a lot of things in this video. But you see me. You've never once come and asked me anything.
Yeah.
And I know you don't know Turkish, so you haven't asked him anything. So what is this? What you've done a video. Oh, it's the title. You know, Robbie is the title. So I said, well, basically what you are telling me then is you're lying.
Yeah. Because
you know me. You've not come and asked me anything. You ain't spoken to Turkish, but you know the truth. So what truth do you know? What? Then he started getting on all the defensive. Well, stuttering and things like that. And I just looked at this guy. So I said, so basically what you're saying is you're admitting you lied. So that's an important thing to just tell people, yeah? That don't always listen to you. There's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of people claiming this and hey, no, nothing.
Yeah.
Right? And just because you don't maybe hear me come out and say this or other people come out, listen. In businesses, people move on. Naturally move on. It's like football, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Football, you'll have a player. He's been great at a club. Look, Mo Salah at the moment, he's great at Liverpool. He may move on at the end of the season. He may think to himself, my time has come, the club and him might naturally move on. That happens all the time in business, in football, in sport. But for some reason, if it happens with me, it's a problem. I'm going to do it. Because what it is, you've got some people out there hungry to do a little video now, put a video out, this.
So those people, I have no time for because I feel like, especially because he knows you personally, he's chosen monetary gain, which is what it is, the SEO in the title. He's chosen that over acquaintance, friendship, whatever it was. And he said,
it's the title. Go to the title. But
but he's chosen that. He's chosen to hopefully go viral, to hopefully get the views, over actually wanting to know or caring what actually happened and finding out.
And nowadays, there's a lot of people like that who will just like, as soon as something happens, they do video.
Yeah, but to play devil's advocate as well, because I said this to Turkish as well. There's people watching that are just in any country, really far from it as well, maybe in Singapore, from Africa, and they've grown an attachment to you. Turkish,
I get that.
And all the people that you have kind of creating content, and they've seen the banter, they've seen the inside jokes, they've seen the, the goal celebrations, Arsenal, behind the scenes membership, whatever it is, and they'll feel like they're entitled to know what happened, not on a private, personal, but just a brief kind of reasoning as to why he's not here, because they'll feel, hey, I was watching you guys every Monday. This was part of my schedule, my routine.
I understand
I had breakfast with Robbie and Turkish on Gunners Unfiltered. Was it? Yeah. And now it's gone. It's like, can I know why?
I understand that. But I then say to them, right, just go back to football. Did the football clubs come out and give you all the ins and outs and this and that? But they don't, do they?
Yeah. Is that the problem? Because this is a public...
They'll have a statement that says, blah, 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 we wish this player all the best and that's it. And they moved on. Because it's a personal thing and it's not really... I understand. You are right.
Yeah,
I understand why a lot of people will be like, "Oh, what happened there, man? What you know what I mean?" But it's cool, man. It's not something to like. It's not as deep as what they're thinking. Is unfortunately, nothing's forever, and people do move on. I might move on one day. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just that is life. You know what I mean? Like, and as I said, you know, you don't see a football club or even a lot of businesses and that and come out and say, give you the whole ins and outs of the, nah.
Yeah.
So, you know, people, I understand what you're saying, but people need to understand that, you know, you got to remain professional in these things and just move on, really. You know what I mean? And everybody gets on and moves on and, you know.
When you see, because obviously it was very, I sent you the link when I had Turkish on of, and you know, I don't know if you got to see that segment on what you thought of it or how you thought it went. But when you see other kind of people that maybe were at AFTV and now they're not, but they speak on you or they speak on what happened or what, how does that make you feel? Because obviously there's a friendship there or there was a friendship there, and then suddenly now they're there talking or they're there having their kind of opinion. Do you any way feel to retort or to respond, or how do you go about when that happens?
You
just kind of
you see me, man. You don't really see me out there talking. I'll just keep it to myself. I don't like to, you know, I see a lot of things said. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, really? But it is what it is, man. It's, you know what I mean?
That comes from you just wanting it to focus on, you just want the
I
football.
want to focus on what I'm doing, man. I want to focus on what I'm doing. I would never stop helping people, man. That's me. Like, that's what I've always been. My mum brought me up. She said, yo, it's not everything's for you. Right. And that's my mantra. So I'll never stop helping people. And, you know, if people feel that they were hard done by, you know, that's their opinion. You know what I mean? But I'm not this guy that's out there back and forth. I haven't got time for that. Yeah. I haven't got time for that, man. I really don't. I'm trying to grow things. I'm trying to build things. And, you know, if people are unhappy about things, I'm a big man. You can speak to me. Yeah. And we can sit down and we can talk about it. But, you know, and listen, you're never going to please, bro, let me tell you something. You can't please everybody. Yeah. That's just life. You can't. I'm not happy with everything that's happened to me. Yeah. But what I've learned to do in life is say, right, move on. Move on. It's the next. There's things that's happened to me in my life, right, that at the time I was like, oh my. I've spoken about this before in previous videos, right? There was a club that me and Coogan owned, who runs AFTV, and that club, for no reason at all to do with us, it went pear-shaped. Yeah. Because I think they really wanted to lock that club down, right? Because they just didn't like the club. We didn't do anything wrong. And at the time, I was really angry. I was like, what have we done? We ain't done nothing with it. But actually, that was the best thing that ever happened, right? Because I needed to come out of that industry at that time. I need to focus on other things. And if that wouldn't have happened, I would probably still have been chasing that. So when certain things happen, you know what I mean, you just got to move on from it and start looking at what's next, you know? So that would be my advice. But me, I'm not the guy out there. You ain't going to see me back and forth with people on videos and stuff like that. Yeah. For starters, if I've got something to say, I'll ring you. Okay. Yeah. I'll call you up. I'll call you Matisse. Say, yeah, Matisse. They will link up with what I dart to, you know. But no, you know what I mean. I'll call you if I've got an issue with you or something. I'll give you a call.
Is that quite old school? Do you think?
That's the right way to do it.
It's the right way, yeah.
That's the right. It's not an old school thing. That's the right way to do it in my books.
Yeah. Because obviously social media is a thing that wasn't back then. So now people feel like maybe they can communicate through social media in that way. Yeah, but it depends what it is, isn't it?
Not in my books,
not in that way.
I'm not. If I've got an issue with you, why? Well, I've got your number. I'll ring you. Yeah. What am I making a video about it for? Yeah. You know, that's me. Yeah. I'm not saying other people can do what they want, but that's me.
How do you deal with? Because I think like it's interesting. How do you deal with like regret, or when you do make a mistake in this industry or in previous industries or at work or whatever it's been in your life? How do you is it very much, okay, I've made this mistake, but you don't want to beat yourself up over it too much. You want to move on to the next and just go.
You learn from it.
Yeah.
I made a lot of mistakes. That's the other thing. Don't bother feel that, you know, I ain't made mistakes. I've made mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes, but I always try to learn from my mistakes.
Yeah.
Learn. I think Arsenal last season, when I'm taking it back to football, I look at Arsenal like, why is your last season with this thin squad?
Yeah.
We got loads of injuries at Christmas, and that's it. Our chances of winning the league was done. I think this year they learnt from their mistakes, went out and got a big squad. When Arsenal was buying all these players in the summer, I was like, oh, well, go on. But now, and they've had a lot of injuries already this season, but they've been able to weather it. That is somebody, whether it's Arteta or whoever at the club, they learnt from that mistake. They're like, last season, that squad was too thin, and that cost us. Might not have won it anyway, but that certainly cost us. That can't happen again. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to make sure we put it in place. So that's called learning from your mistakes.
Yeah.
Rather than sitting there and saying, boy, no, man, we should have won the league, man, but this ref did this and that and that, and making a load of excuses for the thing. So me, I try to be, what I try to always be is very honest with myself. Very honest with myself. I'll even do things sometimes where I critique my own stuff. I'll sit down sometime. I was on a plane the other day on a journey, and I was critiquing the channels.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Not going to tell you what.
Of course not.
One of them was about you on DR. You know what I mean?
No problem.
I'm only joking. But
I do the same thing.
But I do that. I'll write down a list of critiquing my own thing, and then I'll be like, right, now, what am I going to do to change that, to make that better? To think that's how you have to do. If you, I don't want bare people around me as well patting me on the back saying this and that. And pat me on the back when we've done something good. If you don't think it's great, let me know, man. I'm a big man. You know what I mean? Let's see how we can improve it. That's what I'm about. It's not, you know, we're in a world now with lots of noise. Noisy echo chamber, everyone's making a video about this and that. I think you have to take yourself away from that sometimes when you're thinking about progress, when you're thinking about what next, when you're thinking about growth. Because if you just listen to the noise, and as I just gave you an example of, a lot of times that noise is being created by people who do not know what they're talking about. They're just making it up sometimes, or they're making assumptions off of things that they don't really know. So you got to take yourself away from that. And that's the only way you can make good decisions on things going forward. Yeah.
It's interesting because I remember back in the early days before I was even on here, YouTube-wise, but like, where you and Goldbridge, I think, have come from in terms of remember the football. I think it was Wash and Go that was sponsoring AFTV, and it was like his team, and you guys were all getting into scraps. There's loads of fighting on the pitch. I don't actually know what your personal relationship was like back then because I didn't know you back then. But I was like, this is a rivalry. These two, like, there's something there. But now I see you doing the show together on the Monday, and I'm like, what? This is crazy.
We had a little falling out for a while, to be fair. Right, we had a little bit of a falling out for a while, and it was really funny because we kind of,
How did you fall out? Yeah.
No, we had a falling out. I can't get into it.
Okay, fair.
Right?
No problem.
But we had a falling out over something. But I'm trying to remember how we kind of then just
patched it up. Maybe it was.
Yeah,
maybe
but
it was a phone
basically
call.
we came together somewhere and said, "Yeah, man, what's with this rubbish?
Yeah,
we need to work together, man, and do some stuff." And that's it. And it was squashed, and that was it. Just moved on. And that's good.
Yeah, I think it is great because you want to see the best in any industry working together, whether it's music, whether it's, content creation,
I don't
whatever.
like having long-term problems with people, man. You know what I mean? I'll have some people that like, listen, there's sometimes you and people have kind of, you've
fizzled out.
And they're doing they're doing their thing, you're doing their thing, and it's best to continue like that. Yeah. And then sometimes with other people, there's a time come now, you would kind of, we're doing stuff apart, but now it's a good time to do a thing together. I mean, that's how it happens. You see that all. It's with not just this
family,
industry.
Exactly, family, friends. You see that just
it's
in
day-to-day life. It's not just this industry. You look at how many of these boy bands you see get back together, then they part again, and it's
that's human nature.
It's not unique, this thing,
No, it's human nature.
So
Yeah, I think because we're on a public platform as well, it's blown up a lot more in terms of like, wow, this is crazy, what's going on here? But really, if you had a company that was just offline, like a construction company, and that person left or whatever, and then they came back or they didn't, or no one would speak about it. But because it's on camera and there's people engaging in the content, they feel.
But I find sometimes it's way over the top even in this industry, because people leave BBC, people leave Talksport, I don't see it causing as much fuss as it does in this. But I think it's just like you said, a lot of people that want to make a video, they're trying to get.
It's a good and a bad thing, because I feel like it means that people are more emotionally attached and connected to what content we're creating, whereas maybe at those bigger media companies, it's just very template, and it's just I'm watching it, but I know it's not really like it's not part of my life as much. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. You know what I mean? Listen, again, going back to my parents, I used to say, when people stop talking about you, then nothing will go on for you, innit? True. You've heard that saying.
Of course, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think you've spoken about, and I know Goldbridge spoken about the media versus kind of fan media and whatnot, and you two obviously now choosing to collaborate and come together over the last few years, that we can see in the content. This space is very much stronger when that can happen, isn't it? Because we spoke a bit before about everybody kind of sometimes pulling apart, and maybe it's ego, it's a lack of communication, or whatever. But when people can come back together, it's much easier to then collaborate and go forward.
Who's the biggest YouTubers? Say if we're looking at YouTube, who's the biggest YouTubers in the UK at the moment?
Sidemen, Beta Squad.
Right, Sidemen. Yeah. And what do they do?
Collab. And that's what you want, right? You want to collaborate.
And then you'll have, man, everybody's running around trying to this and that and doing their own thing, dissing each other, this and that. Those, man, you cannot tell me they have not had disagreements.
Oh, of course absolutely.
But they, man, are working together. They're, from what I can see, man, they're doing all right.
Yeah.
They're living good. And then a lot of these other men I see making up noise, I don't really see that with them. So there's the example for everyone to see.
Yeah.
And they've been doing stuff together for years. Not just, years and years. What did I think they celebrated about 10 years the other day or something like that.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's mad, isn't it?
And there's some there must be some big egos there.
There has to be.
Because there's big stars in their own right there. There's all the problems that you get around big egos coming together. You know what I mean? I'm sure this one's been offered a deal to do his own thing, and that one's... But still work together, man.
Yeah. Still
making money together. Still packing out Wembley Stadium. Still... Is that not a lesson to learn for a lot of people?
Especially when I think...
As we said right from the beginning, simple things, simple.
Especially when you look at traditional media, we said it earlier, they're very much putting themselves right in the mixer in terms of the content. And we're not competing anymore with just ourselves in terms of YouTubers going up against each other. Okay, it's friendly competition. You're actually competing. I saw the overlap, the watch along. I said, my numbers are dropping.
Yeah.
I said, I need to get my studio looking
you're
right.
You're up against everybody.
Yeah.
When I first started doing like AFTV, there was like a couple men doing content. Now, if there's a watch along, there's about 500 to 1,000 people doing a watch along. It's competition, bro.
Yeah.
So you got to adapt to it. You got to learn. You got to,
Yeah. Make tweaks, make changes.
Yeah.
You got to keep your eye out. Yeah, I think having a good grasp of what's going on over the landscape and kind of keeping an eye on things so you don't actually like lose track of the trajectory. Because I've heard you say about you need to know kind of when to pivot. Shorts, okay, it's not shorts, it's long form content now. Okay, it's maybe lives or it's this. You need to be on the ground, understanding what's going on.
Yeah.
Is that harder to do for you when it's got to such a bigger stage now where the more people you have, I guess, under you kind of working with you to build this, maybe are you less closer to the ground as you was at the beginning?
Nah, man,
do you prefer it? Is that more difficult for you?
I like to stay with my ear to the ground. I like the people around me to have their ear to the ground, and I like us to be honest with each other as to how we're going to keep progressing. Because the minute you start thinking you're too big, the minute you start thinking your company's too big, that's when you lose it. that's when you lose it, right? So you got to know. I still try to behave. I behave like a big company business-wise and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to ideas, content, I try to behave like I'm an individual. So we still need to have our ear on the ground. We still got to see what's going on. We've got to respect people. I'm not this person who sees like an up-and-coming person who's doing really, really well and do it and just says, he's an idiot. No, I'll be looking at him thinking, hey, actually, I like what he's doing, man. Maybe there's some little things we can learn off of this guy.
Okay.
Can always learn, you know.
I was going to ask you where you get your inspiration from. And I expected to hear big names, I'm sure there is, but also...
Off of everybody. I watch lots of stuff. A lot of stuff, I've said this many a time, a lot of stuff that I watch is not football. I'll just like watch, like when I got inspiration for doing a lot of the sort of stuff that we were doing in Africa and places like that. Like I watch a lot of these guys doing these travel vlogs. They had nothing to do with football. I was like, actually, we could take an element of that and use that when we're going on these trips to different countries. Well, as well as showing the football, why don't we show the country a bit?
Yeah.
Why don't we show the people of the country? Why don't we show the culture? And it's worked really, really well. So I like to watch a lot of things, man. I like to learn from other people.
Yeah. And how do you feel like you sit currently? Because obviously it's difficult to maybe reflect because you're so busy. There's so much going on. So we did a bit of reflecting here, which is nice. So you could look back and say, wow, like early days, it was maybe just you and the cameraman outside the Emirates, but you're only just getting started. Then you have your Ureeka moment. How do you feel like you currently sit, maybe like AFTV, DR Sports? Like, how do you...
I still think there's a lot of growth to be done. I'm still, you know, I'm still ambitious, you know, and it's been an amazing 12 years since I've been doing this. It's just great. I mean, it's been an amazing year, you know, like me personally, as I said at the start, I think I've done a lot of traveling this year to different countries and, you know, all those things have been amazing, but that's all in the past now. It's about what we're going to do next year. I'm looking forward to the World Cup next year. That's going to be a big moment, I think, for DR. Looking to see some big stuff around that. We've done the last couple of World Cups. So, you know, and yeah, I think it's going to be a really busy 2026.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a year of growth.
Yeah, it's interesting because I remember when it was early days when I was watching them versus it is now, people will feel like, why is it maybe there's less swearing or there's... But is that because Arsenal are not losing as many games? Because I feel like some people get that mix. Like, people... And I'm sure you've seen the comments, they'll say, oh, it's not as raw, or it's not as off the cuff as it was, or there's not as much swearing and maybe shout. But I feel like a lot of people have maybe come for that, and then they've forgotten that it's not just about that. It's actually about how it's a reflection of how the club's doing.
Well, first of all, we should be finished, according to some people. Remember, because they said we only got views because of people when we lost. But no, I just think maybe people have just matured a bit more in, you know, in the early days was the early days. Things move on, innit? So, you know, and the club has been doing really, really well on AFTV. I don't know, I think things have just evolved over the years. Yeah, absolutely. And I want to ask you about, like, trips. When you go on these trips, and you've spoken about, like, the fan interaction and whatnot, but I've seen you party, Robbie. I've seen when we went to was it? I think it was I was there with TikTok, but we was there for the final. For the Euros. Berlin?
I don't know who got a table. I don't know if it was you, Expressions, Specs, I don't know.
Oh, that night,
I know you, man, are all capable of getting tables if you want and getting bottles and whatnot. But does that party kind of vibe, does that come from the clubbing and the Robbie and the Crucial Robbie? And
plus as well, right, what's the point in working hard and you ain't going to have fun? Yeah. Bro, I like to have fun, man. Nah, trust me, man, when all the work's done, I want to enjoy myself. Yeah. So, nah, man, I'll be the first one there. Yeah. I'll be there in the party, man. Don't worry about that. You know what I mean? I like to enjoy myself. I like to have fun, man. I like to unwind. I like to go out. You know what I mean? I like to go to a nice restaurant. I like to have fun.
Have you always been like that, or did you ever struggle with rewarding yourself for the hard work and always? Because I know it must be difficult always in work mode or grind mode where you're just thinking, no, this needs to be done. How do you actually say, no, I'm done now? Have you got cut-off points in the day? Have you got cut-off points in the year where you're like, no?
I find a lot of times when I get home at night, I just want to relax. I just want to unwind. I want to relax. I want to chill out, you know? But yeah, I like to... I just think what's the point of all this if you ain't gonna enjoy yourself?
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, enjoy yourself, man. You worked hard. Go and buy something nice. If you've got the money, buy a nice car. If you've got the money, buy nice clothes, if that's what you like.
Yeah.
If it's holidays that you like, go and have a nice holiday, man. What if not? Why bother?
Yeah.
So to me, I wouldn't. We're passing through. You know, we're not here forever, man.
That's a good point.
You
Big
can't
point.
take it with you.
Yeah.
You can't
Another
take
big
it with
point.
you. Remember the pharaohs?
Yeah.
You go to Egypt, man. All the gold, everything there that they thought they could take with them, still there. Now it's in a museum. Everybody's walking past. Oh, that's nice, right? It ain't with them, is it? Them gone.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy myself, man. Like, you know what I mean? To work really, really hard and enjoy yourself, man, and live your life, man. And, I mean, do things. So enjoy yourself. Help people as well. That's very important as well. Help people, man. You know what I mean? If you can, I was so proud the other day, and you was a big part of that. You took part in it. The stream that we did the other day where we helped to raise money for
I was actually away. I was in Mexico. I was in Mexico for I was away.
Oh, you weren't
I wish
part
I
of
was
it.
there because it was sick. I saw it. Sean Paul.
you weren't part of it then.
Sorry, apologies. I wish I was part of it, but I
But
can't.
you
I
would
can't
have
take
been if
credit.
you was here.
Yeah,
You would have been.
absolutely.
I forgot you was on
Absolutely,
holiday.
I was on holiday.
But that was amazing. We raised over £22,000, right? You know what I mean? That was we've done previous ones where we raised money for the people in Syria and Turkey when they had that hurricane. We've done other things. I do a lot of individual things that I don't even talk about. You know what I mean? Help people, man.
Yeah.
It's just even help individuals. Sometimes help's not money, you know, it's just advice.
Yeah.
Or just encouragement, you know what I mean? But help people and then live good, man, you know what I mean? Live good and feel good and, you know what I mean?
Have you got like one specific thing that you've bought that you were like, yeah, this is like a guilty pleasure?
A lot. A lot, man. I buy things sometimes where I'm like, like, when you're walking out the shop, I'm like, yo, bro.
The numbers,
that's a lot of
the
money
noughts.
on that, But then, I'm like, nah, chill. On that, man. I like it.
Yeah.
I like that. I've looked on that. I used to always say, I want that. I got it now. You know what I mean? And my work enabled me to get it. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Sure. You know what I mean? Enjoy it, man. Honestly, we...
Too hard on ourselves sometimes.
Yeah,
maybe.
worried. You know what I mean? I rate a lot of times the people in America, you know. I see, to me, Americans, they're more...
Is that a cultural thing, do you think?
I think it is,
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
American guy make his money, man, and go out and buy his thing, his car or whatever, and he don't care who. He said, I worked for that. I respect that, man. Yeah. You work for your thing. As long as you did it in the right way, honestly. Well,
Yeah.
and that's just me. There's other people who, you know, they're more conservative. But me, I like to enjoy life, man.
Yeah.
Because we're not here long. When you really check it, we're not here long, man. You know what I mean?
I think it is a cultural thing. I think obviously if you're conservative, I can be very conservative sometimes. But then when you treat yourself, some people be like, why you buy that? Or, we see it with the players, like they got a chain or they got a car. It's like, why did you got that for? You shouldn't have that. Or you shouldn't wear it now because you lost or whatever. It's like, hold on a second, what are we doing here?
I have no problem with that. If you got a footballer, a man's earning $100,000 a week, what do you want him to do? Have a scooter? Electric scooter riding around. What's man's good? Man's got money to go buy a big car, bigger. As long as he's sensible with it and he doesn't spend all his money on that and he's, you know, also investing and stuff like that. But enjoy yourself.
Yeah. And
career can be over the next week.
True.
A man could be cussing you and say, boy, look at the moment, Mo Salah, look all the great things he's done for Liverpool. Last week he was dropped. And his man saying, drop him.
Yeah. Well, they're rewriting history.
Right. So enjoy yourself, Mo, man.
Yeah, it's true. Because, if you don't, who will?
Yeah.
They're not going to enjoy for you. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You've got to do it. That's something that I think I've learned, like going to Mexico. That was probably the first big trip that I booked where I was like, no, I actually need to go and have a proper holiday and actually enjoy it because why are you grafting and
Exactly. And then you come back after that, you're refreshed.
Exactly, and you're refreshed. Yeah, it's mad. But another thing I was going to ask as well, actually, with Ken and Laurie, is that how proud are you and how happy are you to actually have them working alongside you? Because it's very few people get to actually have the ability to put their family on or to have them around you and work with you. And I know you've addressed it before. I know Laurie's comments, but nepotism, How do you feel about that word,
Nepotism.
first of all? Because I have to ask, how do you feel about that word in regards to what you do and all of the... Because...
boy, if man wants to think it's nepotism, that's up to them, right? Everything that I've done over the years, Laurie's always been involved. Laurie's like my right-hand man. I can trust him implicitly with everything, right? So I love when he's involved in things, you know what I mean? And and my daughter, she's involved. She has, you know, she's so talented. It's unbelievable. And for me, this business is for my family as well.
Yeah. And why wouldn't it be?
Exactly. And you know, why wouldn't it be? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you know, it's great that you have you can have family members working with you. It's fantastic. It's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah. It's mad because as well, you've met so many, we've spoken about it before, but you've met so many famous people. Who is the most famous person that you've met or that's in your contact? Like, just off rip. Because, boy, I thought about it before this interview. I thought, this Robbie's got contacts, you know? Like, in terms of, I'm seeing images of David Beckham, because I'm obviously looking at pictures and I'm like, what is going on here in terms of...
Yeah, I met a lot.
Gets to a point now, surely, where it's like, are you even still starstruck, or are you just like...
I don't really... Thierry Henry, I was starstruck.
That was the one?
Yeah, that was the one, because that was my footballing hero. Even Ian Wright, the first time I met him as well. Yeah. And then we become good friends, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I've met a lot of really famous people, man. It is amazing, you know? It is amazing, man.
Who'd you say is like, sits at the top? If you look through your contacts, you're like, raw, damn.
I don't even know, man. I don't even know which one. I don't even know who to pick. Like,
it must be crazy.
I don't even know. You meet a lot of famous people. The other day I was over in Africa and I met like Davido.
Oh yeah, I
remember
remember
I posted that and everyone, you met Davido? Yeah. Right. And he was such a humble guy.
Yeah.
I've met a lot of, I don't know. I can't pin down one. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like,
I can understand.
There's a lot of, and it's always very humbling when they say, "Oh, I love your content, man. Love what you do." Like, it's mad.
And I guess when you get to that level as well, in terms of fame, but I know you don't like that word. I don't like that word either. Also status or whatever, money. What have you kind of learned from conversations with them, I guess, where it's like a businessman, like making certain moves and understanding how to invest or how to like create wealth for your family and for generations on and stuff? Like, what did the conversation, is it really who you know and the networking and being in the right rooms and stuff like that?
Networking's important.
Yeah.
Networking's important, man. Like, I always say to people, like that's one thing I did from a very early on in my journey, is that I do a lot of networking. I go to a lot of things where people are like, yeah, but Robbie, they're not even paying you. So I go, no, but there's some of the people that are there, you know what I mean? That's good to be in a room with them people. And that's an advice I give to a lot of people, because a lot of people, they don't want to do things unless it's money attached. No, a lot of times the networking is more important, way more important, to even be in a room with certain people to get a bit of advice off of that person is more important than money.
Did you have to learn to kind of almost ask the dumb questions or ask the questions that no one else asks? Does it feel intrusive sometimes? How do you navigate that when you're in those rooms?
Just be yourself.
Yeah.
Don't go and burden down people with loads of questions when that's not a good look.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Meet them, be nice and that, and then maybe say, "Oh, would it be possible to talk to you again?" I always find it's best to say, could we catch up another time or something? That's better.
Yeah.
But networking is very, very important, man. Like, that's really does, you know, it's such an important thing. You know, and as I said, you know, a lot of times you're not going to get paid. You know, you get invited to something sometimes. Not a money thing, but it's an important thing to do. Very important.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself in the future? Is there anything that you want to do that you haven't already done? You got, I'm sure, massive plans in terms of, like you said, maybe representing more in other countries in terms of shows or content, or I see a lot of people have football clubs. I see all sorts of things these days.
I mean, the football club thing, no. I thought about it. Before. I was like, one day I wouldn't mind owning a football club. But then when you think about the amount of money that's involved, then you're thinking, well, maybe that's not a good idea. You know what I mean? But maybe one day, I want to continue doing stuff around the world. Like, I've enjoyed the stuff we've been doing, like, over the past couple of years in Africa. That's been great. I want to do more there. I want to do more things that helps people get into this industry, like, you know, teaching them the creator economy, teaching people about how to build a social media company, how to, you know, be successful in it, the pros, the cons, as like what we've discussed. And I've got a few things in the pipeline for that for 2026. That I'm really excited about. So with the creator economy and also an online course. So yeah, there's some stuff coming that I'm really excited about. So yeah.
What do you want your legacy to be? Have you thought about it much, or?
I like my legacy for people to say, right, you know, mate, he started a movement that, you know, helped put a lot of people on, you know? Because that's what you can do sometimes. You put people on and then it's up to them.
Yeah.
Are you going to put the work in? Are you going to do that? You know? So if people look back on it and say, boy, Robbie sort of was like a pioneer in that and it helped to set a lot of people going and starting and, you know, that's a good legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually got one final photo that I know you're going to love. And that's how I'm going to end it, right?
Right.
And I know you're going to love this photo. And I didn't like this photo, but I said, you know what, I'd be bad if I didn't bring it. Talk to me about that. What's that feeling?
That's a good feeling, man. I need this feeling back. Trust me, man. It's when we won the league at Highbury, right? You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what it seems like. Look how old. Look at that stand. That was Highbury. But yeah, it was fantastic when we won the league. And hopefully that can come back again this year.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be fantastic. You know, there's lots of youngsters who've never seen Arsenal win the league. And I'm even forgetting about it now. It's been so long.
It's mad.
It's funny because there was some people cussed me, right? And they said that.
Bro, honestly, you look so different.
They said it was photoshopped. Yeah, it's photoshopped. Blah, blah, blah. I had a season ticket at Highbury. I was because one of the, you know, some of these haters, they were trying to say, yeah, look, he only started following Arsenal when he started AFTV to make money. And bro, I've been watching Arsenal all my life.
Yeah.
Right? So when that picture emerged, right, there's people saying, oh, it's Photoshop. I was like, listen, I can't bother arguing these idiots, man. You know what I mean?
And you know what I had to say as well? I forgot to say and mention. I have to before we come to a close. Congrats on the weight loss as well, because you've done an incredible job on that. And I remember when you were going through that stage of losing the weight, and we'll talk. That would be the thing we end on. But we'll talk about how you lost it and why you lost it and whatnot. But how did you gain it? Because I think that'll be a lot of people would want to almost relate to that or kind of understand. What happened?
That's quite easy to explain. I ate too much.
But was that a consequence of the work? Because it wasn't your primary focus?
It's an excuse of the work, right? So somebody asked me the other day, they go, have you managed to lose so much weight? I said, boy, I eat less. I ate too much, man. Like I was too greedy. You have to be, you know, as I said, you have to be honest with yourself. I sat down one day and I started thinking about, like, since I was on this weight loss journey and I met Dr. Andre and he was saying, yo, Robbie, he's the first one, very honest. He goes, yeah, listen, you have to start losing weight, man. You carry too much weight. Your overall health is good, but as you're getting older, it will start to deteriorate if you carry this much weight. So that's what really set in the motion. I'm like, nah, now I'm going to do something about it. But then the other day I was reflecting on it. I was like, I was very greedy. I ate way too much. I ate a lot of junk. I drank too many fizzy drinks. And I've cut all those things out. And that's why I've lost the weight. So you have to be honest with yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to make excuses.
If you make excuses, you're in denial, whatever.
Because the thing I'm really trying to crack at the moment is go to the gym more.
Yeah.
Go to the gym, but I'm not enough.
Yeah.
And again, I'm making a lot of excuses. Oh, yeah, I'm so busy, but it's an excuse because I can't listen. There's half an hour out of your day. And I'm like, bro, there's many other things I take half an hour out of my day for an hour a day. I should go. It's an excuse.
Yeah. But it just goes to show, even people think that life is maybe perfect when you get to a certain point, you make a certain amount of money, you've got a certain amount of status or whatever, followers. But it just goes to show you're even still looking at things to improve.
Nah, the health is the most important thing because no matter how, you know, whatever you do, if you're not healthy, you're not going to be able to enjoy it. You're not even going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So, I you know, health is so important. But yeah, I mean, you got to just honest assessment with yourself.
Yeah.
I've read a lot of books, and that's what really got me as well, right? And when you read these books and they say, be honest. And if you sit down and you say, be honest with it, man. Could you have went to the gym today? Yeah, could have. Was you being lazy? Yeah, I was. Yeah, actually. Did you use the fact that you're really busy today as an excuse? Yeah. If your life depended on it, if somebody said to you, if you don't go to the gym 3 times this week, next week you're going to be in a hospital bed, would you make excuses? Nah, I'd go to the gym. And it's the same with food. Did you really need to eat all that food you ate?
Yeah.
When I looked back and I was like, yo, I'll eat like, it's almost like I eat a dinner for lunch.
Really?
Then in the afternoon, I eat more things. Then I eat a big dinner when I get home at night. Then I'm drinking fizzy drinks. Then I'm driving in my car, I'm eating chocolate and crisps. Bro, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why I'm carrying that weight, not because I'm big boned, like and all them excuses.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a big boned man, and you know, people around here telling you, "Yeah, Robbie, man, you look good like that," you know.
Yeah.
When I look back at some pictures now, I was like, "Nah, I didn't look good. They were lying to me. They were just trying to big me up.
Yeah.
But they really, I was carrying too much weight.
And
honesty.
And you must feel so much better now in terms of like your work. You can even do
so
more.
much more demand. First thing, so much more energy than I had before.
Yeah.
But you see, if you're carrying that for such a long time, you don't notice because it just becomes the norm.
Yeah.
But now I have so much more energy than what I had when I was carrying all that weight.
Yeah. So it just changed everything. Even myself, like people maybe look at me and like, he's all right. I'm like, no, I need to go to the gym as well. I need to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure my cardio or my stamina is absolutely flawed. It's nowhere near where it should be. When I need to run for a bus or something and I can't make it, I'm like, yo, that's when you really feel it. When you gotta go on when you really gotta make something, you gotta go on a run.
I did like a charity walk, right? Where I walked around. It wasn't this season. It was the season before. I walked around all the grounds, the London grounds in the Premier League, bro. I was mash up, man. I said, nah, man. I said, listen, I've got to get this stamina thing,
Yeah.
You know? But I did it still. I did it. That was kind of when I was losing a lot of weight as well. So that helped me as well.
Yeah.
But boy, yeah. We make a lot of excuses. That's the truth of it. We have to be honest.
Absolutely.
You know,
have to be. And I think, like you said, you keep striving for improvement. You keep little bit of self-criticism as well, like you said, when you're on the plane.
Yeah, don't be too hard on you. But I want
There's a balancing act,
Yeah, don't be too hard on yourself because we ain't perfect as well.
Yeah.
So don't be too hard on yourself. But if you're looking to make a change, you have to have an honest assessment of what I want. Whether it's your business, whether it's yourself, whether it's your relationship, whatever. You know, if it's a relationship, where have you gone wrong?
Yeah.
And it's a thing that I've just learned over the years. It's just like, stop blaming everybody else and look at you. Yeah. What about you? What part have you played? You know, that's because the only person you have a control over is yourself, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have control over.
Then you can make those improvements going forward.
Yeah, exactly, you know?
Yeah, it's massive. Well, listen, it's been an absolute pleasure, brother, to have you on.
No problem, man. It's been great to listen. Well done to you, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm really proud of what you've done. You know what I mean? Coming in here today, seeing the setup is fantastic. You know what I mean? Seeing your journey over the years, you know what I mean? Like, you've done really, really brilliantly. And I think you're going to be a real star in the future as well.
Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Listen, I'm very thankful to be here. I realise this is a dream. A lot of people watching, listening would love to be sitting where I'm sitting, doing this interview, doing these pieces of content. So, like I said in the intro, you put a lot of people on, including myself. You were one of maybe 3 people that paid me my first bits of pay in this industry that kept me able to do it and do it full time. So I'm very grateful, very appreciative of that. And man. I guess the best way to repay people that have put you on is to showcase why they did that and what they saw in you in the first place by investing, striving, producing. Don't get complacent, just keep going and going and going. And then they can look and say, do you know what? That was worth the risk.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
No,
well, guys.
Keep doing it.
There you are. That was Branching Out. Absolute pleasure as always. We're going to go and finish off this whiskey. See you guys in a bit. Come on.